It's Canine Kung Fu. I swear I've worn different hoodies. I just like this hoodie a lot when I film. But, and sometimes the bonnet does come off. But, what Lolo wants to talk to y'all about today is two things. One is the belief that vibration on versus stimulation is the better and more humane choice for your dog. Not true for 99% of dogs and 99% of circumstances. And two, I see a lot of people that will comment things like, oh, I could never use that on my pet. And that is such a whole ass essay I could write on even that whole sentence, right? Because at the core of it is virtue signaling. And two, pet, right? Pet is a very interesting word because it's another way that colonialism and dog ownership slaps dogs on both sides of the face, right? Where they'd be like, "Oh, well, I could never do anything to make my pet uncomfortable." Oh, well, should you train your dog? Well, he's just a pet. He doesn't need to be trained. See how y'all do that? You all really use the word pet dirtily, right? Really, it's not a good word. It's also not a really good word for a dog, right? I wouldn't argue a pet dog does exist, but by turning dogs into pets, it's probably one of the most horrific things that have happened to dogs in the modern era because now they're just a commodity and everyone wants one as a replacement and an emotional crutch and something to love in a world that seems to punish you for being loving and have less love in it, right? The better thing to say if you want to show actual empathy and not just think that it's empathy, because people think that they have empathy, but really they just project themselves into the situation and then have empathy for the version of themselves they've projected into the situation. An actual empathic response would be, man, I am so grateful that the dogs that I have in my life have never made me go, hey, it's either e-collar, mass amounts of medication that is actually not adequately researched on dogs, which is more effed up. I will argue that to the day I die. As someone who's been through a lot of shit, putting something on medication when they can't even perceive what that medication is and then forcing them to go through a diluted state of consciousness for your comfort because you are afraid of actually training your dog. Now, there are some dogs that would benefit from that on a plan, but just the amount of overdrugging I'm seeing is disgusting. And if you guys actually knew that, you'd realize that these tools is a way better option. The dog can turn this on and off when you do this right. You can never turn off drugs. And even if you wean that dog off drugs, you don't know how that drug has affected that dog for the rest of its life. Way more than you can fix bad training unless it's horrendous abuse, and even then dogs can recover. But y'all really reach for psychoactive drugs before a communication system the dog can turn on and off, right? There's also deaf dogs. There's the situation where if my dog ever loses his sight or hearing, I have another system he knows intimately to communicate with him. So yes, please say to yourself, I am so glad I've never had a situation in which I've had to ask myself, is it e-collar or I lose my dog? Is it I'm calling a dog trainer saying I have 3 days to solve this barking problem, or my dog is going to the shelter and I have no idea it's a high kill shelter and there's no rooms for shelters and there's no room for dogs. So please, I'm asking my audience, if you're watching these videos, understand that when you morally high ground, it is an aspect of what feeds into dog fascism. It's not necessarily dog fascism, which is like the thing I'm not going to shut up about, but it allows you to very quickly get into a pipeline in which suddenly the only people you support are the 1% owning dogs, and you are too poor to own a dog. So just think about that. The next footage you're about to see, I know, long rant, is all Gohan, so peace. His level is about an 11. I just found it. I could not find it inside, and I was afraid that I was going up higher. But basically, he was at the door, wanted to go out, and that was giving me a false read. So I had to basically do what I wouldn't recommend most people do. But again, he's been preconditioned. He already knows what this is, as I have demonstrated. Hanging out with my crow homies. Already what I want to talk about is I just feel so much more confident because I know in areas where what my dog has wanted and what I've wanted are not in alignment, when I'm making the choice that's keeping both of us safe, as the human, I need to be able to have the best requirement of control for the level of freedom. And this allows me to actually communicate with my dog in a way that eliminates so much stress that it makes me a better handler. And that's why this is the way this tool should be used. It shouldn't be something that we're reaching for in moments of stress. It should be something we're reaching for to have moments of clarity. So I'm gonna go have fun with my dog and then get back to y'all. So I'm not able to stim right now. Close is like a lazy man's heel. He just needs to be within my space. Couche. So people will say he's lick-lipping. Those are signs of distress. Yes, they can be. They're also supposed to be known as displacement behaviors. Higher. With displacement behaviors, they often come from pressure. What does he want to do? He wants to be running around free. So I used his release cue. This way! Nope, this way! He also takes a second to slow down because of his loin length. Now, I haven't seen him this stoked to be off leash in a very long time. If fear, it's almost like with the e-collar on, and I have footage of him off leash. I've been working him without an e-collar for months now. It's almost like he trusts me with it to know, like, to guide him through situations. I'll break down his overstimulation, but I'll show you an example. So basically, you give the dog, I'm going to show you the difference with, yeah, he's already checking in. I'm going to show you the difference with his stim level, which is now down at a 9. He's waiting for me to do stuff. Here, good. And I can go even a little bit lower now because he's going to be more attuned, right? Conos, free. So this is the vibrate button. Watch what happens when I hit vibrate. Let's see if I can call him in a little bit closer so you can see. Go on! This way! Good. Okay. So I'd use no stim there. Chill. Wait! Okay. He's like, why are you making me do this? He just wants to have fun. I'm gonna show you vibrate. So you didn't even, and the difference between stim. So you notice stim, and that's still high. He's sensitive. Once he attunes to it, you can go a lot lower, and not higher, lower. So he was at a 10. He can feel a 5 now. Now, you're not gonna get this right away. When I started, he was at a higher level than me. He kind of feels that. So now he's at probably a 4. He kind of feels that, but he's more primed to listen now too, right? I don't need to rely on the tool fully. Go on. You ready? Go play. He's interested in the guy. Hi, friends. So you're getting not the best. I can show you here, but it's not as clean as you would get with a green dog. And I'm in conflict. So he is like, e-collar, let's go. I'm having fun. I'm trying to shoot a video. I'm actually creating more conflict by trying to shoot the video. And people are going to say that sounds like cope. But there are so many videos of people doing this right. But we are in a situation with dogs where we are being pressured to give you guys the fastest results possible. And this is a tool that can almost guarantee that in a 4 to 5 week program. But it's not always, and can become a very handler damaging and dog damaging, but handler damaging tool. I gotta go clean up my dog's poop. But anyway, peace. So we're just playing around town. He's at a 5 out of 100, mind you. So I'm gonna do stim. Here. Good boy. There you go. A little slow, but it's also assy. I'm giving him commands that seem unnecessary, so they're going to be slower, right? Now, free. I'm going to show you what happens when I vibrate. You see the dog? Vibrate. So now we're in an issue where, this is the other issue with vibrate, is he's in dog piss. So he felt it, but he's smelling female dog pee. So he'll come back on both. But see, that's vibrate. Vibrate, right? He now knows that it's happening, so it's less startling. But look at his body language to the vibrate versus the stim. Hi, bud. I know, you don't know why you're getting tapped. You want to do fun stuff? Let's do some fun stuff. Over. Come on, parkour. You're alright? Good, you're free. He's in a state because he just wants to go do fun things, so it's actually more of a dick move for me to use him as a demonstration. But because he's expecting me to let him just do whatever the fuck, unless there's a reason for it, right? So vibrate. So he knows that I'm thinking about doing it, so that's another thing too. Your dog knows that the remote is connected to the collar. That was vibrate, right? He hates vibrate. I feel bad for doing it, but I need to show humans that the vibration, I can't adjust the vibration as easily as the stim, and it's more easily mistaken for something else. I don't need to even really stim right now. I'm just doing it for your guys' benefit. He would listen to my voice at this point, right? Because I've paired the e-collar with as a way to back up my voice as a handler. Gohan! Can you come here, please? Can you come here? Thank you. He doesn't need it. He only needs it in certain circumstances. And need is a loose word here, is that it's